The morning sun cast a soft amber glow over the skyline of Tucson, Arizona, as Elena Hart strode up the steps of Monarch Dominion Bank's Speedway Boulevard branch. No fanfare followed her. No entourage. No designer labels. Just a woman in her mid-40s, wearing a navy blouse tucked into neatly pressed gray slacks, keys in one hand, a worn leather wallet in the other. She didn't pull up in a branded vehicle. No chauffeur. No clipboard-wielding assistant announcing her name. And that was the point. Elena wasn't here to be seen. She came alone and unannounced, because she believed you learned the most about a place when no one knew who you were. Inside, the branch was quiet. Fluorescent lights buzzed faintly above. A few customers sat by the windows filling out deposit slips or scrolling through their phones. A man in a neon landscaping shirt chatted casually with a young teller behind the counter. Elena waited patiently in line, her expression calm, posture unassuming. When it was her turn, she stepped forward and offered a polite smile. "Good morning," she said. "I'd like to make a withdrawal from my personal account." The teller, a young woman named Kayla, nodded. "Sure, I'll just need to see your ID and account number." Elena handed both over without hesitation. Kayla took them, began to process the request, but before she could continue, a man stepped out from the glass-walled office behind her. Mid-50s, thin-rimmed glasses, maroon tie that clashed faintly with his pale complexion. His name tag read Graham Dillard. He glanced once at Elena, then at her ID, then back at her face. His practiced smile didn't reach his eyes. "I'm sorry," he interrupted smoothly, cutting Kayla off. "We can't process that withdrawal today." Elena blinked, confused. "I'm sorry, is there a problem with my account?" Graham chuckled. It wasn't kind. Let's just say we've had a few, incidents. People pretending to be someone they're not. Big withdrawals. You know how it is. "No," Elena replied calmly. "I don't. But my account is in good standing. I can provide additional verification if needed." He didn't ask for it. Instead, Graham leaned on the counter and gave her a smile laced with patronizing charm. "We've had fraud attempts before. No offense, but we don't just take people's word for it. And frankly, this ID doesn't really look like you." Elena tilted her head, still composed. "It is me. I'm Elena Hart. I'm the CEO of Monarch Dominion." Behind her, a man shifted in line. Kayla's eyes widened slightly, darting to the ID again. Graham snorted, dismissive. "Ma'am, let's not waste each other's time. You'll need to come back with proper documentation. Or better yet, make an appointment." Elena took a slow breath, steadying herself. "Graham, is it?" He nodded, smug. She paused. "Did you actually look up my account in the system before you came over here?" "I don't need to," he said, arms crossing defensively. "It's procedure. I don't have to verify every ID that doesn't feel right." There it was. Not when he questioned her ID. Not when he refused her transaction. It was when he said it felt off, as if her mere presence was a red flag. Elena had led this company through 2 major mergers, navigated a hostile board takeover, and transformed Monarch Dominion into one of the most respected regional banks in the Southwest. And here she was, being treated like an imposter in her own institution, by a man who hadn't bothered to verify a thing. Still, she kept her tone neutral. "I suggest you check the account," she said softly. But instead of listening, Graham turned to Kayla. "Can you handle this? I've got calls to make." He was already walking away. Elena reached calmly into her purse, not for drama, not to cause a scene. Just a phone. A single call. Stephen's office door clicked shut behind him. The air in the lobby, however, didn't settle. Kayla stood frozen. Other tellers glanced nervously in Elena's direction. Even the customers had gone quiet. But Elena didn't call just yet. Instead, she looked at Kayla and asked gently, "Do you see the name on that ID?" Kayla nodded slowly. "Yes, ma'am. Elena Hart. And when you enter that name into the account system, what do you see?" Kayla's fingers hovered, then typed. A beat passed. Then another. Her eyes widened. I see an executive account. CEO status." Elena gave her a faint smile. "That's correct. And you weren't told I was coming, were you?" "No, ma'am. And I didn't want anyone to know. But now that you've confirmed who I am, is there anything else you need?" Before Kayla could respond, the office door opened again. Graham stepped out, clipboard in hand, likely a prop, judging by the awkward way he held it. "Is there still a problem here?" he asked, his voice tight. "No," Elena replied evenly. "Kayla has confirmed my identity and verified the account. The withdrawal can now be processed." Graham scoffed. "Look, lady." "Ms. Hart," Kayla cut in, almost involuntarily. Graham blinked. I'm sorry. I just confirmed her identity. She's the CEO. Silence. Graham's smirk vanished. Oh, so now we're just letting customers play dress up and take out whatever they want, he snapped. You walk in here, no assistant, no notice, dressed like you're picking up groceries, and we're just supposed to believe. He stopped. Not because he wanted to. Because the room had gone silent. I turned to Elena. I didn't realize I needed a dress code to access my own funds, she said softly. It's not about clothes, he replied, flustered. It's about protocol. No, Elena said, voice steady. You ignored protocol. You refused to verify my ID before making assumptions. You dismissed my position and identity. And now you're deflecting. Graham looked around, searching for support. Someone needs to get her out of here before she causes a scene, he muttered, voice strained. Kayla stepped back. Another teller, a man in his 30s named Justin, stood up but didn't move. Then he frowned. Wait. Elena Hart? I saw her speak at the conference in Phoenix last year. About ethical banking. That is her. Graham turned pale. Elena took a step forward. No yelling. No drama. But her words now held the weight of steel. I gave that speech because I believe in what we do. I believe people like you shape how the world sees this bank. She paused. And today, you showed them something I will not let stand. She pressed a button on her phone. Lydia? Patch me through to HR. Now. Yes. This location. The line disconnected. Graham watched, confused. He didn't understand what was coming. Not yet. Elena didn't move far from the counter. Her stance was calm. Still. The room buzzed, but it was a silent buzz, like the moment before a storm. A soft chime broke the air. An incoming call. Elena answered. Yes, I'm here. No, he doesn't know yet. I'll hold. Graham returned to his office. This time, he didn't close the door. He stood inside, arms folded, watching her like she might vanish at any second. Across the lobby, a woman in her 70s leaned on a cane and whispered, Sweetheart, you okay? That man's out of line. Elena nodded. I'm handling it. Thank you. The phone clicked again. Elena? This is Andrea from HR. We have Roland, the regional VP, on the call as well. Good. I'm at Speedway branch in Tucson. The manager denied my withdrawal, refused to verify my ID, and dismissed me publicly. A pause. Did he know who you were? I told him. Twice. Andrea's voice shifted from concern to quiet steel. Give us 3 minutes. Elena hung up. Kayla, still shaking slightly, asked, Would you still like to process the withdrawal? No, Elena said gently. You handled it as best as you could. I appreciate your integrity. A moment later, Graham reappeared. This time, he moved slowly. The same clipboard was still under his arm. You waiting for backup? He asked with a smirk. No, Elena replied. They're on their way. He chuckled. You could have called ahead, you know. Saved yourself the drama. I didn't need to set anything up, she said. You did that all on your own. Before he could respond, the branch phone rang. Justin answered. Monarch Dominion, Speedway branch. Yes, one moment. He handed the phone to Graham. It's for you. Graham took it, eyes flicking nervously toward Elena. Hello. Yes, this is Graham Dillard. She's still here. Yes. Understood. He hung up slowly, then turned, visibly shaken. Elena. Miss Hart, can we speak privately? You had your moment, she said. A hush fell over the room. Kayla focused on her monitor, hands trembling slightly. Justin leaned forward, listening. I don't want a speech, Elena said. I want accountability. Graham's posture stiffened. You're blaming me for following protocol? No, she replied. I'm holding you responsible for not following it. You made a judgment call based on how I looked. That's not just careless. It's dangerous. The front doors opened. 2 people in suits walked in. Andrea. Roland. They walked straight to Elena. Ms. Hart, Roland said, voice even. Let's take care of this. He turned to Graham. We need to speak in your office. Graham sputtered. She gave no notice. That's not the issue, Roland replied. Andrea added. We've reviewed the branch footage. Audio. Visual. It's clear. You can't just. You're not being terminated because she's the CEO, Andrea said sharply. You're being terminated because you violated policy, disrespected a client, and created a toxic environment. Graham's mouth hung open. Elena stepped forward. I could have fired you quietly. I wanted you to hear why it matters. Everyone saw how you treated someone you didn't think mattered. She paused. And that stain follows us. I won't let it spread. Andrea gently motioned him to the back. Graham left, silent now. And the room exhaled. Elena turned to the staff. I'll address the team in 5 minutes, she said. Please finish with your clients. She sat alone near the vending machines. And for the first time all day, she let herself breathe. There was still one more thing she had to say. When she returned to the lobby, the staff stood gathered, Kayla, Justin, the others. Even the security guard had come inside. I walked in today not looking like a CEO, she said. And I did it to see the truth. She looked around. And the truth is, we have work to do. They listened. Some looked guilty. Some looked relieved. All of them looked changed. Leadership, she said, isn't about who's watching. It's about how you act when you think no one is. She smiled gently. Thank you for listening. Thank you for learning. Then she picked up her bag and walked out. No bodyguard, no press. Just a woman who had reminded them all what respect really looked like. End of story.